So motion, so as we all know, motion is the movement of any object by its own, and this is a very important part of our lives. It can be of any human, any animal, or any bird. The motion is very important for our lives, to make our lives easy. So unlike plants, the plants don't move, but they still get sufficient nutrients from their roots, and they so they don't move, and we cannot call them non-living things because they have a life in them. So here we are talking about motion in the concept of physics. So in physics, how can we describe motion? So here is a very simple definition of motion in terms of physics. So motion can be described as the motion of any object can be described when its position change with respect to any stationary object. The, the motion have two types, uniform and non-uniform. So this is a ball, and when I keep it like this, it is a stationary object without any motion, and when I roll it like this, it gets in motion with respect to this board, this book, and any other object. So this is the topic of uniform motion. So how can we describe uniform motion? So this is the definition. When an object travels equal distance in equal interval of time, it is said to be in uniform motion. So let's suppose a car is traveling at a speed of 60 km per hour. So which means that a car which takes 60 km in 1 hour, it means that it takes 1 hour to complete 60 km, and it goes so on, like in the second hour same 60, then so on. So when this type of thing happens, it is said to be in uniform motion. So this is the example. As I said before, a car travels 60 km in 1 hour. So now we will go on to the non-uniform motion. When an object travels unequal distance in equal interval of time, it is said to be in non-uniform motion. So what can be the example of non-uniform motion? So let's suppose the same car which was traveling in 60 km per hour have now reduced its speed to 50 km, and it takes 2 hours to complete 50 km, and after that it takes 40 km in 3 hours. So it is not equal, like I said before, in uniform motion. So when this type of thing happens, it is said to be in non-uniform motion. So students, our next topic is distance and displacement. So what do you understand by displacement? So I am sure many of you have heard the word distance and displacement in your previous classes or somewhere in your daily life. So now we will describe distance and displacement in the terms of physics. So distance, it refers to the length of actual path completed by the object in motion, and it is a scalar quantity. So a distance is the path of an object which is completed by an object while it was in motion. So we have a example here, as in Olympics, they have a race course which is in oval shape. In that, many athletes take part of many countries, and they take a lap of the whole 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 race stadium, and and so let us suppose that it is of 400 meter. So what is 400 meter in here? So the 400 meter is to be said a displacement in this example, because the athlete was in motion and a he covered a path of 400 meters. So this 400 meter is distance, and now we will move on to displacement. So displacement is the difference between final and initial position of the object, and it is a vector quantity. So this diagram shows the displacement of an object to the distance of A to B, which have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 paths. So as you can see, this A path here and this B point here, these are the 2 points. So A can be called as initial. It is called initial because the object started moving from here, and it went here, then take a turn, then here, and so on. So when it reached B, its distance was increased, but its displacement was shorter than its distance, because as you can see, it is a straight path along here to the point B, and this is the initial and final. So now the difference between initial and final position of an object is called the displacement of the object. So this diagram shows the displacement of an object, and the displacement of this object is AB, and the distance of this object is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8. So this is the distance of the object who traveled a path from A to B. This is a distance, and AB is the displacement of the object. So I am sure that many of you would be wondering about that what are scalar and vector quantities. I'll help you. Scalar quantity refers to the quantity which only have a magnitude, and they don't have a so the scalar quantity are the quantity which have magnitude only, and they don't have a direction. So let's take an example that a car travels 40 km in an hour. So 40 km is the magnitude of the car, and while I don't say in which direction it is going, so it is a scalar quantity. If I said that 40 kilometers per hour in north or south or east, so it would be a vector quantity because it shows the direction of the object. So this was a short explanation of scalar and vector quantities. In our next class, we will learn about scalar quantity, vector quantity, and remaining topics. So if you like this video, please share, press the like button, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.